Hey guys, what's up? This is Kinshi, and today I'm back with a new video. So today I just wanted to show you guys the process of me making something that I didn't really love at first, but I ended up turning it into something that I really like, and it was just like fun to make this, even though it was a big struggle. But I just wanted to put something on my channel, just to start my channel, and this is what I'm doing. So I started off this piece with like a rough sketch like I always do, and I wanted to make like sort of like a fan art of the character Akali from League of Legends. And ooh, look at that eye. That eye is already like creeping up. I started it the way I start all of my illustrations, which is just like a rough sketch. And like at this point I actually thought I was just gonna take it in that classic direction of just doing realistic shading and stuff like that, but I just found it so challenging for certain elements. Like as you can see, I'm already like redrawing this eye like a million times because I just didn't know what to do with it. I was also kind of confused by the pose and everything that I was doing in this particular video, so I just decided to start off by just trying to draw an outline, which I would then later delete and just shade in realistic 3D shading. And then I went back to this eye, and just look at the amount of times I tried to reposition this eye, because I had such an issue with drawing an eye that's shaped like a profile eye, but that's like looking towards the viewer. I kind of wanted it to be like person looking onwards, sorry, like being positioned onwards but looking off to the side, and I just couldn't find a way to depict that with this eye. I just had like the biggest struggle, and I don't know, at this point I kind of started realizing that this classic approach that I usually do is just not going to work out with this one. So I decided for a different eye shape, and I was really happy with this one actually, even though I ended up repositioning like the pupil like 7 more times. But I really like this eye shape because I saw that I could make my character look really angry, especially with this eyebrow as well. I feel like Akali is the kind of character that has like sort of that rage in her theme and in her lore. And so that's what I went with. And at this point I tried to see, for the last time, I was like, okay, is there any way that I could do this like a realistic 3D shading? Could I find a way to color this that works for me, that I enjoy? And as you're about to see, I really just didn't. I ended up just really hating everything that I thought of in like that classic artistic way. So I just decided to start focusing on the rest of the image and like make some details, make some harsher outlines, and then like see later, once I have my rough outline done, what I wanted to do. And I discovered this really cool tool. Well, I didn't discover it, but I started using it for the first time. This is the Bezier curve tool, I think that's what it's called. I never used this before, but bitch, it's so convenient. Look at how clean and crisp these lines are. The one thing I don't know what this tool is, I don't understand how to like finish off a line. It always seems to like want to do like an extension away from my cursor. That's not really a great explanation, but I always like drew it further than I wanted, so I ended up just like erasing the tail end of it, which is fine, but I'm sure there has to be like a better, more optimal way of doing it. But as I was playing around with this tool and just seeing how crisp my lines were, I started getting this idea of doing the entire piece in this crisp line type of style, because initially I was just going to do like the harder curves with this and do the rest of the image just freehand like I normally do. But I really love how graphic and how blocky it looks. Like it started to remind me like this is an illustration, but it felt really like graphic design as well. So I just kind of went with it, and I decided that I'm going to do it more like blocky and really graphic. But look at this eyebrow. This eyebrow was such a struggle. I feel like I spent like 30 minutes just trying different eyebrow shapes, because I felt like the full anger of the eyebrow isn't going to be depicted because the eyebrow sweeps underneath the hair. So I tried finding a way where like I could make the eyebrow look angry just with the front of it. And yeah, it didn't work. I kind of just gave up on it after like 20 minutes or so, and I started doing the hair. I really like this whole Akali look when she has like this huge, enormous like bang to the side, and then the rest of her hair in her bun. I just think that looks so sick, like in her original artwork and stuff. So I really like doing that as well. So I went for like a Yasuo type bun, if you're familiar with Yasuo from League of Legends as well, except like on a much more reasonable scale, because his is like insanely big. And I did the 2 little strands of hair because I thought they just looked nice, and then I thought maybe I could add some additional strands of hair on the back side, the side that's facing away from the viewer, but I didn't really find a way where it looked nice, so I just kind of didn't. And I also figured at this point, since I'm doing this in a graphic style, maybe the simpler the better. So yeah, at this point I kind of had this Bezier curve tool down already, even though it was my first time using it, and I just kind of finished off the artwork. Yeah, I guess nothing special happened at this point, but this ended up being like a super fun piece, and I'm just really happy with how it went, and yeah, I really like it. Okay, so I'm just gonna comment on this one last part. So I really love how the outline of this image turned out to be. I just felt like I should add some more details, so I used the same tool. It was still a little bit of a struggle, but we got through it. I really love this tool now, and I just added some details to the final image. And so we're basically at this point approaching the finished piece. I am super in love with how it turned out. I love how graphic it is. I love how much it reminds me of a tattoo design. I wonder if I should color it or not, because I do have to admit I briefly tried coloring it just like later that night, and it just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I just didn't love how it looked colored, so I kind of just like it black and white, but I am thinking about coloring it, or maybe just adding some cool black and white shading to really go into that direction of a tattoo design. So if anybody's watching this at this point still and has a recommendation or an idea, I would be really appreciative. Like I said, I really think the artwork is cool the way it is, so I'm gonna keep a version of it like this regardless, but I don't think there's anything wrong in playing around with it even more and just being fun and being creative. So until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.